Welcome to Bullman Built RC. I am Matt, your favorite YouTuber's least favorite YouTuber. Today I'm going to actually try to be helpful. What I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to take the K5 K10 interior and basically chop everything out. Not exactly the easy way, but the less difficult, well, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to chop this up and make a flat floor. That way you can put a bench seat on it. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So you have your K5 K10 interior tub. If you are like me, you don't want to put bucket seats and everything because not all of these trucks came with bucket seats. Actually, most of them came with a bench. I know there's some out there, but on the grand scheme of things, most of them came with a bench. Can we agree with that? Good? Okay, cool. All right, so what you're going to want to do is we need a X-Acto knife, we need a razor knife or some sort of like hobby saw thing, a tape measure. You'll need something like a straight edge, something that you can measure against, just whatever it is that's straight. And you'll need some styrene. I buy the evergreen styrene from Hobby Lobby because it's right down the road and it's cheap. So this thing was like $4. It's 80 thousandths. You can use 60. You could probably use down to 40, but you're going to need some bracing and stuff. For a crew cab, you can do a bunch of different things. In the Suburban, I made one and it runs the whole length, and the dually and my other crew cab are a little different. But for right now, this is what we're going to do. And I can go over some of those if anybody wants it later on in a different video. Just let me know down in the comments if you want me to show you how to do a crew cab as well, and I'll do that. Now, you're going to measure from here, like right in this little pocket here, to the back of it as well. And it's roughly 2 7/8, 2 15/16 or so, roughly. I'm going to just say 3 inches because normally there's a little space gap back there. So then what we're going to do is if you're using this sheet like I am, that's a little smaller, you're going to notice that if you put it this way, it does not fit. It's not wide enough. So you're going to have to cut it this way. So you're going to go 3 inches back, or if you measure the width, it is 6 3/4. So what I would do if I were you would be to measure 6 3/4 this way and then cut this whole half off, because I'm going to show you later something else that you can also do with this sheet. I have that, so 6 3/4, everything like that, and then you're going to end up with something along the lines of this, but it'll have more on it. Now you have 6 3/4 wide. You want to make sure to check that. And it's just as wide as it is, on the stock one. So this is your width. Now what you're going to want to do is put this against here, and I'm going to go a little bit extra. Like I said, I'm going to aim for 3 inches just to try and fill that gap. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to work. If you want to go only as wide as stock, just go to the interior tub and be done with it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here and we will mark 3 inches. One thing I would suggest is the factory machine side, try not to cut that. So we'll go 3 inches here, right about like that. Come over here and do 3 inches real quick. Okay. If you don't have anything that's 3 inches, go ask your dad. He'll know exactly what 3 inches look like. Now we have that all marked out. Now we have those two marks. You're going to take your straight edge, then we're going to mark that straight down. Now we put the lid on the Sharpie here. All right, take your X-Acto. You probably need a fresh blade on this or whatever you want to do. I don't care, but I'm just telling you, the sharper the blade, the least chance you are going to have of pushing too hard and chopping your thumb in half. So we mark from there, and then we're just going to pull it down and then scribe it a few times. Now, since this is 80 thousandths, we are going to basically scribe the holy hell out of it, because I don't have a whole lot of room to break it off. I scribed the hell out of it, so I should be able to take my pliers here and just kind of bend it back, and it should snap all the way off. Now, if you want to cut all the way through, you most certainly can. That is up to you. I will not. It's not exactly perfect, but a little back and forth on this sanding stick here. Good enough for government work. All right, so now we have the factory edge over here. You have this. Now is where your razor knife comes into play. You are going to make sure 1,000% bazillion times that this is the right size that you want. You see everything, etc., etc., right? Now, If you are super worried about it, you can tape this, hold it, whatever, and then you can drill these holes out right here to make sure that they go in the same spot if you are going to use the same factory interior mount thing, pops, whatever, right? So you just put it like here. I do have the desk, so just go right there. I got my marks. Okay, I'll drill those out later fully, but now I have my marks. So if you're happy with the way that everything fits with this, you're going to take your razor knife and you're going to run it down right here. You can use an X-Acto if you want to. It's going to be kind of hard to get down through that middle part without using something along those lines and doing that. I use a little Amazon hobby knife thing. It's like, I don't know, 6-8 inches of a blade, and it's got a little handle. Makes short work of things like this. You're going to cut it off, and it's going to look like this. Basically floor pans and a trans tunnel, and then nothing out here. All right. So once again, I would highly suggest taking something, rubbing this down a little bit, getting all the burrs off and everything to make it semi-flat. You have your piece. Okay. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to take your factory edge and you're going to put it right up there. Make sure everything jives and you are super happy with the way that's sitting. Then I'm going to take my thick CA glue and I'm going to put a little dabby dab right here on the side. You don't need a whole lot right now, okay? And then a little dabby dab right here on this side. And then maybe just a little bit in the middle right there. Now you are going to have that notch where the shifter goes, and I mean, you'll have the thinnest little piece of plastic right there where you didn't cut it. We should, maybe, I don't know. You may not, I don't know. Now I'm going to take my accelerator, which is super helpful. This is a Bob Smith Industries Instaset spray that. So you have CA on one, Instaset on the other. Now I'm going to take this and put it right here on the line and just kind of follow that all the way down like so. This part is not easy to do. If you mess it up and it's not exactly in line, the nice thing is if you've used glue semi-sparingly, you can just kind of break it off and redo it. Should have something, looks something like that. All right, so now once those little two pieces, sides, whatever, have dried, now you can take and dab just a little bit of the thick CA here in the middle. Just be kind of careful. And then you're going to want to make sure that it's all lined up in the middle there. If you got to hold it, you can, because you'll be, get ready. Take your Instaset, right there. Then you're going to kind of line that up and just hold it. You can blow on it. I'm not sure if that helps, but I like it. Your mom likes it too. Now I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to wipe down the back of this because there's Instaset every freaking where. Just kind of get some of that goopy gunk off there. I don't know how Instaset works. If you guys know how that works, then let me know down in the comments because I don't know what that stuff's made out of. Then I'm going to take my thin CA. And this is not a necessary step, but it is one of the things that makes life a little bit easier. This stuff is super thin. Think of like water. All right. And what I'm going to do is you don't even have to squeeze it. You just take it and you just kind of dab it right there on the edge and it's going to run almost all the way down. Okay. Just like that. It ran into the middle. There's enough Instaset in there. I assume that it's going to catch it. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Don't need a whole lot. Like I said, it should just kind of run everywhere it needs to go. And I'd Instaset it again. That stuff's hard to control. They need to make one that's way less pumpy. And now what you should have is your new interior tub. Now, if I compare this to my old one, pretty much right on the money, just a hair bit longer. And now is when you test fit it and see if you've done everything correctly. So we'll pull this over here, tilt the cab up, put it in there, see what we got. Put that in there. Put that up there. This does fit like a stock floor, so if you put this in, you will see that there's a gap around the back and a gap to the sides. The door panels do kind of bring the sides in a little bit. I try not to modify these too much just because once you get the door pans in, they can be a pain in the ass to get all together. If you want to take the time and do that, you go right ahead. I mean, that's super awesome. More power to you. I'm not going to do that. I may end up adding, I don't know, like a little 1/4 inch piece back here, just glue it on for a little bit behind the seat for some support. But that is your new floorboard. Now that you have your floorboard done, you should have a piece of styrene that looks something along the lines of this. Has your piece, you know, sticking out of there, as long as you didn't mess anything up or whatever. So if you made it a little wider, it's going to be a little narrow, obviously, but you should have this. So now what we're going to do is pretty close, like a pretty princess. All right, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make a bench seat. Super easy, really easy. I could pretty much teach anybody to do this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the piece you have left over, and I got some 1/2 inch foam from Amazon. I think this is like 3 foot by something or somewhere along those lines. So what you're gonna want to do is you can measure how deep, I guess, these seats are. So they're roughly 2.6 inches, whatever that is in fractions or whatever. So like 5/8. So I'm going to go to 2.5 here, and then I'm going to scribe that down the middle like so. Use my straight edge, which is probably how a lot of you are going to end up doing it, because maybe you don't have calipers, which is completely fine. Then you're going to take your X-Acto and then run it down, just as easy as that. Should be good. Snap it. Nope, maybe not. Nope. Okay, not good yet. Needs more scoring, like your dad's favorite sports ball team, which is why he doesn't pay attention to you and why you're out there building RC trucks by yourself. Score. More scoring. Okay, now break. All right, cool. So now you have your piece that's roughly 2.5 inches, and then this other piece. Now what you can do is you're going to take the glue and go along this side and then come along this side, and we are going to make a seat. What I would highly suggest is maybe taking a little measurement of this one, because if you break them especially, they're going to be a little rough. But let's see what we have here. I'm going to add, so this is 80 thousandths. I'm going to add about 1/8 of an inch here. So I'm going to go with 2 5/8. 2 5/8 here. I'm going to cut that down to where that's all square. Make sure the first pass is kind of light, so that way you scribe it and you're not pushing down too hard, or you'll move your straight edge and everything. Basically scribe the bejesus out of that. Kind of go over it one last time. Maybe a little freehand. I don't recommend this because this is right when you'll mess it up. Oh, just like that. Take my pliers, I'm gonna snap that off because I don't feel like sitting around here and cutting all the way through that. Okay, now I'm gonna run this over a little sanding. Now you got that. Now you're gonna take these two halves and you're gonna make an L. Same exact thing as making the floor. We're gonna take the thick extreme power. We're gonna put a little dibby dab right in this corner. Bagoop. A little dibby dab right there. Bagoop. And maybe one in the middle. Spray that. Okay, and then we're going to put this on here. Just like so. So now once you're happy with that, you're gonna have a little, mine's a little crooked because I cut this a little crooked, but I'll fix that with the belt sander here in a second. So now I'm gonna take the thin, once again, I'm gonna run it down the crease. Do a little bit of this. There should be enough accelerator on there that I don't have to spray anymore. So we'll let that kind of do its thing. Then I'm gonna take the thick boy, and I'm gonna run it down just in a couple spots to just really make sure that this does not move. Okay. Because what we're gonna do here in a second is we're gonna cover this. You don't want this thing coming undone after you've already covered it, because what a pain in the ass that's gonna be to fix. Now that we have that, we'll throw that on our interior, and you can see how that is going to sit. Pretty freaking cool. Now is where you take your foam, and we're gonna cut this up. And in all honesty, it doesn't have to be perfect. Go ahead and just mark this out real quick, like do that. All right, so you're gonna cut one cushion. You're only gonna cut one for right now, okay? And Once again, these don't have to be perfect because the fabric is going to cover and kind of smush a bunch of it, so it won't really be that bad. Go all the way through it. Now you can make this as pretty as you want to. Like I said, it really isn't going to matter a whole lot, because what we're going to do is we're going to cover this. So this is the perfect time to shape your seat. Now what I would do is just kind of take something and just edge break this basically. Doesn't have to be at like a huge angle, especially if you're going for semi-accuracy. Just kind of break it a little bit, that way it's not so pointy whenever you cover it. It doesn't have a big point. So break it there. You can use a belt sander, which is what I do 90% of the time. Got that. Now we're going to glue this down to the plastic, styrene to styrofoam, however you want to do it. I don't really care. I'm going to use this because I really don't care what happens to it under there if it gets crunchy, because no one's actually sitting in it. Okay, and then I'm just going to spray it and mash my friggin' foam on there. I've let that sit. Now we're going to cut another piece. Same thing. You're just basically going to put that in here, and I'm going to just rough cut it. You do the papal whistle and it makes it a lot more accurate. You know what I mean? Okay. Now you have your bottom cushion. Now what you're going to want to do is clearly you're going to want to take some of this and, you know, just clean it up a little bit. If you cut it nicely to begin with, congratulations. Your parents probably still actually like you, and you've done a good job. And I'll tell you, you did a good job. This is also the time that you can shape your foam if you want to. If you want it to have more of a rounded edge, I would not really suggest that, just because it kind of like, if you do too much, it'll give it like this slopey, and then it doesn't look good. Same. We're going to take our CA and all over it. Spray it, and then we will put the foam on. Okay, foam goes on like so. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect because you're just going to cover it anyway. So now you have made a seat and a floor. Okay. And now you have a bench seat that you've made with the little foam, so it's going to actually give you kind of the correct look. This doesn't really sit up a whole lot because if you look, these are almost the exact same height as the buckets. So this is about what you want, and you're going to end up gluing it onto the floor. If you do wrap it in fabric, I would suggest maybe taking some of your cutoffs and putting them under the seat just to give it a little bit of room, because you're going to have fabric wrapped around with glue on it, and that's going to want to sit up off the floor. And then so if you're going to try and glue this styrene to the floor, you're going to have a little bit of a problem. Now what you would do is you'll take this, you'll paint it whatever the hell color you want. You can flock it if you want to. I'll show you how to do that at a later time. And then you're going to take your favorite material. I use cut up Goodwill shirts. I go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, used to go to, what is that? What's that one that just closed? Whatever the hell it was, and get fabric from there. Whatever you want to do, wherever you can find fabric that scales pretty well down to this size. I found this papal looking fabric at the Hobby Lobby. And then so you just take it, find the outside. You're just going to take it and wrap it. Fabric glue. Make it look semi-decent, presentable. Cut it. Boom shakalaka. Bob's your uncle. Now you have a full seat and you have an interior. And that is how you do that. That is the quick and dirty version. Like I said, you can get as precise as you want to. You can move things around if you want. But hopefully that has been helpful for at least some of you. And it helps you in some of your projects. It doesn't have to be a square body. It can be, you know, a Toyota or whatever the hell, any kind of RC4WD drive or an Enduro, whatever you want to use. Think about becoming a channel member. Think about following me on Facebook and Instagram or the Facebook groups, Bullman Built RC across the board. And that is all. I will see you later. Bye.